Stop sleeping with earbuds in your ears. These type of headphones cost like
All right, so good morning. You should be able to hear me, correct? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
All right, I'm making sure. All right, since it's coming to 8 a.m., we're about to get started with everything. Today's Monday, so Mondays I'm gonna focus mainly on meditation. Fridays I do a little bit more flexibility. So prior. We did the class in December, and on those classes, I did a lot of more breath focus. So Mondays is gonna be a lot more breath focus and intuitive focus into the body, while Fridays will be more in the physical practice, where we get more in depth on how much range we have for certain movements and how can we explore it to getting more in depth or more in tune with the range of motion we already have. So whenever I generally start classes, I start off with the breath. So placing the hand at the belly, and that being one key spot for the breath. The second would be the rib cage. So give yourself a gentle hug, placing your hands underneath your armpits. Then the third spot is the upper chest. The reason I focus so much around the breath is because the breath controls how we respond to reality. So from the basis of starting with the breath, we then can work inward to then develop outward. Because we breathe in, process everything that is happening around us that we're perceptive of or we're aware of, and then from there we then reapply what we know of ourselves, what we know to do, how to handle a situation back after we take time to process everything. So as we start this, we're gonna start this with 4 breaths at the belly, placing the hand at the navel. Hold up. Yeah.
Trying to go get myself out of my car. Why you do that?
No, I get you, but I'm still having work. All right.
But yeah, my wife got to come and break up.
Starting at the belly, we're gonna clear out the lungs, taking a deep breath in. Allow for the belly to fill, feeling the belly press into the palm gently. When you slowly release, bringing the navel back towards the spine as you exhale. Taking a deep breath in, you feel the belly fill with air. The navel is gonna press away from the spine, and as you release, you feel the navel retract towards the spine. Deep breath in through the nose, hold, slowly release through the mouth. One more time, deep breath in through the nose, hold, and slowly release through the mouth. For anyone just joining in, we're just getting started with some breath work. Starting at the belly. This is Monday, so we're going to be doing more meditative practice. On Friday, we're going to flexibility and range of motion. Right now, we're starting at the belly. We've done 4 breaths at the belly. We'll do 4 more breaths. Take a deep breath in, feeling the belly fill with air. The navel press away from the spine. And as you release, you feel the navel retract towards the spine gently. As you fill your lungs with air, feel the belly with air. Begin to set your intention for your practice. Allow for your and allow for your intention to be self-exploration, discovering, bringing awareness, releasing, waking up, invigorating through the breath. Deep breath in through the nose, hold, and then slowly release. With the hands, whichever is more comfortable for you, can sit on the knee, have it palm up on the knee. But as long as your hand is on your belly, and you're able to cue into the physical sign of your body, taking a deep breath in. That is where the focus is at. Whenever you're ready, you can give yourself a gentle hug, place your hands underneath your armpits. The physical cue for the breath at the rib cage is your rib cage expanding out like an accordion gently and then retracting in slowly. As you fill your lungs with air, feel your rib cage expand. As the rib cage expands, remember that's three-dimensional expansion. So you have expansion in the front, on the sides, and as well as in the back. Allow your body to breathe, expanding throughout the volume of the lungs. And slowly release. Take a deep breath in, and slowly release. Deep breath in, slowly release. Whenever you're ready, take your last deep breath in at the rib cage. Hold. We're going to halfway release and take a deep breath back in. Do a full exhale. We're going to go up to the upper chest, the upper cloud. So as you take a deep breath here, the physical cue should be your chest rising towards your chin. We're going to bring your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep breath in, hold, and slowly release. I'm crossing my hands over my chest so I can feel my clavicles rise with each in breath. Hold, and then release. You should feel the clavicle drop at each exhale and expiration. So deep breath in, hold, and then slowly release. Checking into the body, these are the three physical cue points from the belly to the rib cage to the upper chest for your body taking a deep breath in. Whenever you take a deep breath in, the belly fills first, following by the rib cage, then the upper chest rising. And as you release, the belly first compresses in, navel going towards the spine. The rib cage then cradles in, compressing back into its volume. And then the upper chest, clavicle lowers down. So those are the three signs, or three physical signs for a deeper breath, or deep breath. Take your time and bring your focus into it. If you can focus in at your belly each time you take a breath in, you will always take a deeper breath. You will always take a full breath. Alright, so I'm going to play this meditative mix I had earlier. And then we're going to do about 24 cycles of breath. From these 24 cycles of breath, we're gonna go into a Wim Hof breathing technique, which this breathing technique from Wim Hof is a 30 breath cycle rotation. So you're gonna breathe, inhale actively for 30 breaths, pumping in into the lungs, pumping through the diaphragm, and then on the last breath we're gonna hold. We're gonna hold for approximately 10 to 15 seconds, then release and restart the breath cycle. We're gonna do the Wim Hof breathing method for about 3 to 4 rotations. So we're going to take 30 breaths, hold for 10 to 15 seconds, release, and 30 more breaths, and continue the cycle. Before we get into that, we're going to take 24 breaths of just breathing and checking into the body. So that's roughly eight breaths at each point. So 8 breaths at the belly, 8 breaths at the rib, 8 breaths at the upper chest. And then from there, we're going to 30 breaths. But it'll be an active breathing technique where you're breathing and using the diaphragm to pump. So right now, we're going to practice that slowly. So taking a full breath in, activating the belly, activating the rib cage, activating the upper chest, taking a full breath in into the small of the lower back as deep as you can, and then actively release. Take a deep breath in, feel the air, fill the lungs, fill it to the maximum capacity, and then actively release. Deep breath in, hold, actively release. Deep breath in, actively release. Deep breath in, actively release. Deep breath in, active 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 release. Deep breath in, final breath. Hold. Full active release. As you empty the lungs, take a moment to feel how the body has felt after the inspirations, after the breaths in. Check in from the base of the spine, going up into the top of the skull. With your following breath, see how the air is flowing through the body. Feel how it is moving through the body. We're about to get into 3 sets of 30 breath rotations. And then from there, we're going to go into some upper back, neck releasing, and then some standing movement activation for the body. Just a general activation after we get through the breath. So, tuning into your breath, checking in. You start feeling discomfort. Bring your awareness to that discomfort and allow for your breath to alleviate tension. Allow for your breath to alleviate the tension. As you're doing this, try to focus the shoulders over the hips, the rib cage directly over the hips, the spine going directly over, the head is directly over the sacrum. Allow for your body to line up and feel the alignment. Place your hand on your belly and feel the cue for the breath. Whenever you're ready, you can take a deep breath in at your pace, then do an active release 30 times. 30 breaths, active pace. Then once you get to the 30th breath, you're going to release. Take another breath in and hold for 10 seconds. So as we go, we're going to start deep breath in, and then release. Deep breath in, 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 release. That's your intention. You're feeling. It's your intention. You're releasing. It's your intention. You're feeling. It's your intention. You're releasing. Each breath, feel how the air travels into the body. Each release, feel how the air moves and travels out of the body. With each breath, look and search the body for any tension areas. For each release, allow for the tension to release. With each in breath, travel back to any areas that would have held tension. On each in breath, out breath, release. Deep breath in, 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 hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Take a moment, let the air saturate into the body, let the oxygen saturate into the lungs. Let your body sit and saturate. Allow for your mind to travel to anywhere where your body felt like it was holding tension. For this moment, bring your chin to your chest, stretching out the neck. Take your hands, interlock your fingers together, place them behind the head. Bring your elbows together in front of the head. If you bring your elbow tips together, do so. If not, it's fine. With the chest, with the chin to chest, you're going to slowly release the tension in the back of the head. Expanding the arms above the head, flipping the wrist. The wrist should flip to where the palms are facing the sky. Then bring your head up, looking up. Stretching through the upper back, releasing tension in the upper shoulders, lengthening through the arms. Arms are facing up. Then bring the palms back to the back of the head. Bring your elbows back as far as possible behind the head. Take a deep breath in. This time we're going to add a slight movement with the breath. We're going to do a rotation, going side to side, turning towards the left side, then towards the right side. We're going to inhale going towards the left side, and then release going towards the right. And then you take an inhale as you release all the way to the right, and then release going towards the left. You should do 15 breaths with each side. Deep breath in, release. This comes to 30 breaths total. Deep breath in, release. Deep breath in, release. Deep breath in. As you release, lift the palms, extend them above the head. Release, still rotating the upper body. Deep breath in, release. Deep breath in, release. Deep breath in, release. Bring the palms back to the back of the head. Bring your elbows back as far as possible behind the body. Deep breath in, breath in, release. Deep breath in, release. Deep breath in, release. Deep breath in, release. Bring yourself back to neutral. Bring back to neutral. You can extend the hands above the head, palms going up, palms are facing up. Bring the elbows back down. Bring the elbows. Palms go to the back of the head. Take a deep breath in. Release, extending the arms above the head. Deep breath in as you bring that palms back to the back of the head. Bring the elbows together in front of the body and lower the chin to the chest. From here, you're going to rotate the left ear to the left shoulder. And then you're going to rotate around right ear to right shoulder. Chin is staying in the chest. Ears meeting the shoulder. Hands are still interlocked behind the head. Elbows are pressed down towards the chest. Holding the head down, you can extend the arms above the head. Lifting the palms. Then follow lifting the head, looking at the palms. Take a deep breath in. Then slowly releasing. Bring the elbows down parallel, side to side to the body. Bring the shoulders down. Let the shoulders drive down the body. If you can't bring your shoulders down naturally, place your hands into your shoulders and gently pull them down away from the ears. Or you can actively use your scapula, drive them down your back. Drive the shoulders down your back. Bring the shoulders away from the ears. Take a deep breath in. Let's take a deep breath in. Bring awareness to your obliques from the rotation. Bring awareness to your upper shoulders. Bring awareness to your arms. Bring awareness to your thoracic spine. How does the cervical spine feel? Bring the chin into the chest as you release. As you take a deep breath in, shift the gaze up, lifting up as you breathe in. As you release, tilt the head down, bring the chin into the chest. Take a deep breath in, lifting the head. Slowly release, bring the head down. Deep breath in, bring the left ear to the left shoulder. As you do that, take a deep breath in. And then release, bring the chin to the shoulder. Gaze at your shoulder, take a deep breath in. And on release, you're going to look up. Deep breath in. Bring the chin back down to the left shoulder. Chin back down to the left shoulder. And the left ear down to the left shoulder. Release. Take a deep breath in. Bring the chin back to the shoulder. And bring the chin around. Going from chin at left shoulder, chin at right shoulder. Release. Take a deep breath in. Bring the right ear down to the right shoulder. Right ear down to the right shoulder. Take a deep breath in. You're going to alternate the shoulder between the right ear at right shoulder to chin to right shoulder. Alternate. Breath in. Bring the right ear back to the right shoulder. Right ear back to the right shoulder. Do a lengthening stretch to the left side of the neck. Bring the shoulders down to the back. Draw the shoulders down to the back actively. Bring your chin to the shoulder. Take a deep breath in. And on your release, you're going to set the gaze forward. Set the gaze up. Deep breath in. Lower your chin back down to the shoulder. Then meet the right ear to the right shoulder. As you're ready, bring your chin back down to your chest center. Head is bent. Head is looking down. Your gaze is set down. Take a deep breath in. Thrusting the chest up a little bit. You're going to release and then Look up, setting your gaze up, bring your head to a neutral position. Interlock your fingers before your chest. You're gonna expand your arm, extend your arms out, bring the palms away from the body. Take a deep breath in, bring the elbows in, bring the palms towards the chest. Hand comes towards the chest. Take a deep breath in, and then you're gonna release, bring the palms back away from the body. Extending the palms, pressing them out. Take a deep breath in, bring the palms back into the chest. Release the fingers, placing your hands down to your knees. Take the right hand before the body. Place the right hand onto the left knee. Twisting the body, take the left hand behind the body. Then turn your body over towards the left hand side. Looking over the left shoulder. Take a deep breath in. Slowly release. Take another breath in. Let the muscles of the lengthen out on the right side, going towards the obliques, going over the knees as your body goes to a gentle spinal twist. Bring your body back towards the center. On an in breath, you're going to take the left hand before the body. And then on your release, you're going to take it to the right knee and begin a spinal twist towards the right side. Right hand goes behind the body. You set your gaze over the right shoulder. Bring your body back neutral as you release the breath. Actively focusing in on the stomach. You got to take a deep breath in. Hold for a moment, and with your navel, with the actual navel, you're going to press it back towards the spine. Press it forward as you release. You're actively activating your core at this point. So it's stuck in the belly button and press it out. What we're doing is inverse of the breath. So what you're going to do is take a deep breath in. You should feel the belly expand. As you feel the belly expand after your breath, you're going to hold slightly and then bring in the belly actively with the abdominal muscles. After you do that, you're going to slowly press the belly out and then begin to release your breath. Activating at the core. Take a deep breath in. Hold. Just feel the Q sign for the belly filling with air. And then you're just going to immediately release the breath. As you release the breath, actively bring the belly back bring the belly button back towards the spine. Bring the belly out, releasing. And bring the belly back towards the spine again. Release. And then take a deep breath in. Slowly release. What we're doing with that is activating the blood and the muscle in the belly. We're bringing breath into the belly. Now we're activating the actual muscle. We're doing a spinal twist. We activate the transverse abdominis, which goes across the belly itself. It's kind of like a belt that helps support the lower back as well. What we're doing by actively bringing the belly in and releasing it is we're activating the rectus abdominis as well. We're getting the core pretty much activated for the day. Because once our core is activated, it makes it easy for the transfer going up the spine. Communication from the base of the spine going up into the top of the head is all transferred through the core. So we're gently just activating the core muscles right now through the breath, through this activation. But as you do this, remember to bring yourself to the awareness of where you're holding tension and where your body is, what your body is communicating to you with this tension. Harsh tension or what your body is telling you. Is it telling you, hey, I'm feeling tight here, but I'm feeling tension here being pulled from somewhere else? Travel into your body, through your body, with your breath. Allow for your breath to be the conduit to tell your body, tell your muscles how they are feeling and that to respond back to you. Taking a deep breath in. You're gonna actively release. Bring the belly up, bring the belly button in towards the spine. Belly button coming towards the spine. Actively. Then press the belly away. Take a deep breath. breath in. Slowly release. The way we're doing this, we're taking a deep breath in, activating the belly. So if you have your hand on your belly, after you take a deep breath, you're going to clear it out completely. You're going to press the belly button back towards the spine. Then press it out away from the body. And then take a deep breath in. We're doing this to work the abdominis, rectus abdominis, the transverse abdominis, and these muscles that align and line up with the intercostals, which are the rib cage, as well as the core. Opening up that throughout the belly gives us a little more space to breathe into a little bit deeper with breath with each breath, because our breath is going to help control our reality. Our breath is going to help process the information that our brain is interpreting. Our brain is processing.
We can't hear you.
Right.
We can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? Sorry about that. Can you hear me now? Taking a moment, your breath is going to be used to help process that air, but we're activating it through the core by pressing out the rectus abdominis and then bringing it back in. With each in-breath, your body is naturally bringing out the rectus abdominis by pressing out the belly. With each out-breath, your body is naturally bringing it in. So we're activating that muscle, that musculature, naturally by pressing out the belly and then bringing the belly in. Say it one more time, sir.
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right. It got muted on my end.
We can hear you.
Sorry about that. So where I was at, we're at the belly. We're actively breathing in as we're releasing. So you're taking a deep breath in, and then you're immediately releasing that breath. After you release that breath, you're gonna take the navel at your belly button, and you're gonna bring it in towards the spine. Then you're gonna release, pressing it away from the body. And then take a deep breath in. With each in breath, you should feel the belly expand, and then with each out breath, you should feel it contract back in. But on the active use of the abdominis, you're activating the belly to press out. So it's so your body can actually expand and get more oxygen in. Because we're already pressing the belly down just a little bit with the contraction and expansion of the diaphragm. But
we can't see you, bro. We can't see you.
Alright, I forgot to take the video. Alright, that's fixed everything right there, right?
Yep, that's good.
Alright, cool. So I was at the diaphragm expanding as you activate the abdominal muscles. It's gonna push down your belly organs, your intestines, your stomach down just a little bit. So understanding how the rectus abdominis works, it's gonna move those organs just slightly, allowing for your lungs to expand deeper into each breath. But that's going all the way around the body, from the front to the back to the rib cage as well. So as we take these deep breaths in, we feel the belly move naturally. And then as we activate the action of the belly, of the bringing the belly button into the spine and pressing it away from the belly, we're still doing that same movement of the core, moving those organs gently. Our core is going to help keep everything structured for the internal part of our body, because that's where most of our organs are at. So as you take a deep breath in, you feel as it fills the lungs, as the diaphragm begins to compress, actually expand. And then as you release, you feel the diaphragm compress, and the pressing of the belly away from the spine. Deep breath in, slowly release. Deep breath in, and actively release. Bring the belly button towards the spine, and then release it away from the spine. Deep breath in. We're going to actively release. Bring the arms behind the head again, interlocking the fingers. And with the active release, you're going to bring the belly button back towards the spine and turn the body towards the left-hand side. As you turn towards the left-hand side, immediately begin to gently turn towards the right-hand side. Then bring your body back down, center, neutral, and release. Take a deep breath in. Active release. Bring the navel towards the spine. Turn towards your right-hand side. Then bring your body around towards the left-hand side. Release, come back center. Come back center and neutral. Take a deep breath in. Actively release. Bring the body towards the left side, rotating towards the left. Bring the belly, navel towards the spine. Bring the body around towards the right hand side. Bring the body back to neutral. Extend the arms above the head. Palms flip towards the ceiling. Release the fingers, bring the arms down, parallel to the body, bring the shoulders down, bring the shoulders down. Palms are up. You bring your palms to your knees, to your left, or down to your sides. Remember to drop the shoulders down. Take a deep breath in. Set the gaze up gently. And what you're going to do with the shoulders direction and pick them up this time. And what you're going to do with the head is you're going to bring the left ear to the left shoulder, but your gaze is still going to be set up. So as you're setting up your gaze, remember to bring your shoulders up. You're using your shoulders to support your neck at this point. So you can place your hands behind your back and look up gently. Or you can place them on your lap and then just bring the shoulders up. You place your arms behind your back, gives your body a little bit more support so you can lean back into it as you look up. And as we're going to bring the left ear to the left shoulder, we're stretching to the right side of the neck. Then we're going to rotate around behind the head, bring the right ear to the right shoulder. So we're creating some slack for some of the muscles that we have already been lengthening out, while also lengthening out their counter muscles in the front, in the upper chest. So you're going to press your chest out as you bring your shoulders up. And you gently just bring your head, ear to ear, shoulder to shoulder, ear to shoulder, for each side. Take a deep breath in. Bring your body back to center or neutral. Bring the shoulders down. Then interlock the fingers and bring them above the head. Palms going overhead. Lengthening through the shoulders. Then bring them down. Bring the elbows down. Bring the shoulders back. Bring the shoulders down. Elbows are going behind the back. Gently. You're going to release. Then lengthen back through the arms. The hands should be gently behind the back as your elbows go behind your back. So we're stretching more to the upper chest at this point. Bring the elbows back down. We're in the upper back. You're going to bring the elbows together before the body and bring the chin down to the chest. Rock the head side to side, going left to right. So I'm going left, then right, left, then right. Lengthen through the cervical spine. We're going to extend the arms above the head, dipping the wrist, bring the head up, looking at the looking at the back of the palms. Bring the arms down, releasing the fingers at the top, arms coming down, shoulders coming down. Alright, we're going to get to some standing now. Let me see how much time I have. Alright, cool. We're going to get some standing asanas now. Make sure I'm able to physically seeing through everything. Alright. legit starting at the ankle. So let me go this down. From standing, I'm gonna start at the base of the feet and work my way up because as we breathe, we breathe going down, so everything has to come back up. We want that flow to come down from the grounding of our feet all the way up. The idea of the breath is only gonna be in the core, but the way the body refers to itself, we have referral zones all over. So we refer referral zones in our feet as well as in our hands to correlate with the rest of the body. So starting on the ground, standing, I'm gently gonna bend my knees and roll into the balls of my feet, lifting the heels off of the ground. I'm gonna take a deep breath and extend through the legs, keeping keeping on the balls of my feet, but keeping my heels off the ground gently. So I'm gonna gently bend the knees, creating a plie, taking a deep breath in. And as I do this, I'm gonna take note to where my belly button is at in my back. And as I bend the knees, I take pressure off of the lower back, so I can bring in the navel a bit more, or I can press out a bit more with each breath. So yeah, extend through the legs, pressing the heels into the ground, coming up into the balls of the feet, bringing the heels up gently, and then bend the knees slightly as you come down. Press the heels into the ground as you come back into standing, lengthening through the knees, coming up to the balls of the feet, and gently come back down. You don't have to lift your heels too much off the ground, just enough to where you feel the separation of the ground and the heel. So it's kind of like you're just picking up the heel, the knee's gonna be bent, then you're extending back through the knee, pressing through the heel. So we're activating down through the hamstring, but going through the ball of the foot. So gently rock forward, bringing the knees, your knees coming over your toes just gently as the heels come up. Extend through the legs, pressing the heels into the ground. So as I press the heels into the ground, I am actively pressing my knee back to lengthen through the hamstring. And I'm gently bending in, activating the calf muscle as I go up. So I softly in the knees, rolling to the balls of the feet, pressing into the toes, lifting the body. Now what your body's gonna do from the hips, because we went from the balls of the feet, pretty much the ankles where the heels are lifting up into the knees. Now what your body will be doing with the hips as you're setting in, you're gonna have an anterior or posterior tilt with your hips. So the anterior tilt is if your body's doing like this, the posterior tilt is if your body's doing like this. Bring yourself to the awareness of where that line is of your ASIS and your PSIS, because that's gonna pull into the lower back, pulling into the upper back. Your whole body's connected. So as I take my fingers, I'm taking two fingers, place them at the front of my hip bone, the ASIS, and the back of my hip bone, the PSIS. And from there, I'm feeling how the rotation is going through my hips. It's either going to be anterior tilted, where it's like this, or posterior tilted, where it's like this. Now from there, as I press into the balls of my feet, I can actually control the tilt a little bit easier with the plie of my knees, because I'm taking pressure off the lower back. So when I press my knees down and extend through them, I feel my hips tilt a certain way, either anterior or posterior. Me, I feel an anterior tilt. So as I press, I'm gonna try to focus on going a bit more posterior to align my back. Everybody's body is gonna be a little bit different depending on how we hold tension and how we respond to it. So lifting the heels off the ground slightly, knees are in a slight plie, a slight bend. Press your balls of your feet into the ground, pressing the heels into the ground, extending through the legs, extending through the hips. As you get into the hips, feel where your body may have a tilt. If not, feel where the alignment is at. As you press into the hips, lengthen through the top of the spine, through the upper shoulders. Then softly roll your body back down. Roll your body back down to where your knees are bending, your hips coming off the ground. As your heels come off the ground, press to the balls of your feet. Extend through the legs, pressing the heels into the ground. Extend through the hips, extend through the knees. As you get to the lower back, you feel how the pelvic tilt is now affecting the curvature of the spine. Either it's anterior, where you're pulling in and your lower spine is lengthening out a bit more, or it's posterior, where the lower spine is compressing and the abdomen is lengthening a bit more. So from there, we're gonna go up. As we go up, we're gonna focus on where the hips and shoulders are not aligned at. You have alignment of the shoulder and the hip right here, as well as the shoulder and the hip right here. We're focusing on how these lines and these boxes are creating and feeling our balance. As you're in the hips, feel where your shoulders are sitting over your body. Are they sitting directly over your hips? Or are they sitting back, maybe even forward? Some people's body is going to lean more forward than others. Other people's body is going to lean more back. Some people are going to cave in. We bring our awareness to first, basically through the feet, through the balls of the feet, going to the ankle, going to the knee. As we go into the knee, we press the heel into the ground, pressing down through that ankle, going into the hips. Either feeling how the tilt is, if it's anterior or posterior. Then from that anterior posterior tilt, we're going up into the shoulders. We're rocking them side to side, rotating them back, rolling them forward. See where that alignment is at. Where is it pulling? How are we feeling the shoulders pull onto the back, going down? And what tension are we feeling going up into the shoulders? As we bring our awareness to the shoulders, you're going to bring your arms up. Bring them up above the head, palms together. You're going to bring your arms behind the head slightly with the palms together, lengthening through the spine. Then, remember, cue into your hips. See if you have an anterior posterior tilt. If you have an anterior tilt as you're doing this, your body's going to tilt forward. And you're going to have kind of like a banana bend. And if you have a posterior tilt, your body's going to tilt backwards. It's going to arc it back a bit more. So when focus on where that alignment is at. Try to align the hips with the shoulders to where everything is going forward. There is no tilt. Try. If your body can't get there, then we can work it by understanding how that tilt is being used. There's a slight mechanical motion in the hips that are going to pull with the alignment of the shoulders. So as you lengthen through the shoulders, lifting the arms above the body, see how it pulls into your rib cage, see how that pulls into your lower back. And release, bring your arms down, bring your shoulders down, squaring your shoulders with the hips, squaring your shoulders with the body, and then feeling where the head is at in response to the body. Is your head forward? Is your head driving back? Or is your head sitting neutral at the spine? Or neutral on the spine? So going from the ground, what we're going to do is 5 toe raises. So you're going to lift into the toes gently and lower down. That we want. Lifting onto the balls of the feet, toes gently. 2. After those 5 toe raises, our heels are going to be slightly pressed off the ground. And then we're going to extend through the knees. So plie through the knees a few times. So about 5 times, that's going to press the knees down. When we get to the hips, we're going to do the anterior posterior tilt. So you're going to bring your hips forward and then back. Forward and back. Now, there are movements where you bring your body around and your hip will come out to the side. That still will affect the lateral movement. But the forward and back is going to help pull the anterior and then the posterior movement. So the testicles are lengthened back. So forward and back. We go to the chest. And with the chest, what we're going to do is rotate the shoulders back, rotate the shoulders forward, rotate the shoulders back, rotate the shoulders forward. And for the head, simple. Chin, chest, looking up. Chin, chest, looking up. When we go lateral, pretty much the same thing. We should be rocking side to side. On the balls of the feet for the feet. When it goes to the hips, we'll be rocking side to side, same thing from knees. Shoulders is just lifting up the shoulder, picking up the shoulder, lifting up the shoulder, picking up the shoulder. Head and shoulders, neck and shoulders, bringing the neck over to one side for each side. So we did part of that sitting down, now we're going to do standing to get just a full activation through the body, a gentle activation. So we're doing 5 toe raises, or 5 calf raises, sorry. So we're bringing our body up and gently lowering down. On your in breath, bring your body up. On a release, lower your body down. As you're releasing, bring your heels to the ground. Actually activate your toes and bring them up towards your body. And then come back to the balls of your feet. Take a deep breath in, coming up. What I'm gently doing as I do this, because I bend my knees slightly, I'm bending my knees as I come to the balls of my feet to extend out. So now I'm lifting all of the calf. And then remember, as you come back down to your heels, activate the toes, bring your toes up. Going to the knees, pressing the heels into the ground, slightly bend at the knees. Place your hands into your hips at your ASIS and PSIS. Again, those are the bones in the front and the back. Where you feel the bone landmarks of your body, that's the ASIS and PSIS. So slightly play your knees. Then what we're going to do is just extend through the knees. Bend them back, extend them back, and bend them forward. Take a deep breath in as they bend. Release as they extend. Deep breath in as they bend. Release as they extend. Gently through the knees. Going into the hips. And take a deep breath in as your body tilts the hips forward. So as you take a deep breath in, you should feel it going to the small of the lower back. Then you release. You're tilting the hips back. So you should feel it pressing into the small of the lower back right there. Deep breath in. Slow release. And so at the point where I'm holding the ASIS and the PSIS, you bring your fingers together in the back. You should be at the base of your spine, which you can see your coccyx. So the muscles here are really what are getting activated whenever we're using that anterior posterior tilt. Anytime we sit down in a chair or a squat or do anything that requires our body to hinge with the hips, it's going to tilt just a little bit. So bring yourself to that awareness. It's going to affect how that stress is pulling onto that belt, that transverse abdominis, and then pulling onto the back. So placing the hand at the PSIS and ASIS. And then if you need to move your thumb in a bit more to feel where your actual coccyx is at in your lower back, take a deep breath in and slowly release. Deep breath in, tilting forward, anterior tilt, and slowly release, posterior tilt. Deep breath in, slowly release. Deep breath in, slowly release. Coming into the upper chest, focusing on the chest and pick up the chest. As your body is doing this movement, so it lengthens through the spine. So the lumbar spine is getting as much flexion as it can. Don't forget that also stretch your neck as you're doing this, because it's not doing your spine. You're going to feel the tension moving up and down the spine as we're doing this. So we're going into the chest now. Somebody's going to roll the shoulders back and open the chest as much as we can, going out to the side. And then roll the shoulders forward and compress in. Because as we compress in, we're rounding off the spine. And as we roll back, we're expanding through the spine. So we're expanding through the thoracic part of our spine at this point. Which the thoracic part of the spine is where we have the most flexibility and range of motion at through our spine. The lumbar being the biggest, the thoracic being the area where we have the most range of motion, but the thing is also where we have the most tension, because that's where our scapula, rhomboids, teres minor, trapezius, all that pulls onto. So it being the area where we can have the most freedom, but it's also the area where we have the most locked up and just natural tension from just how we hold our bodies. So pressing the chest in, curving the spine, taking a deep breath, and then releasing as you press the chest out. So you're going to roll the shoulders forward, press the chest in, caving in the spine, caving in the chest. And press the chest out by rolling the shoulders out. Roll in, take a deep breath. Release. Deep breath in. Release. I'm only holding my hands in the front of my body so I can feel the curve. So it's like I'm pulling a string necessarily. And I already know the string is connected to my chest, so I'm pulling it out, and then I'm just letting it suck in. Cave in, expand out. Now the other part is you keep seeing me like lengthening through my shoulders and my neck. And that's because as you're doing this, the tension is going to go up. And it's going to want to release and lengthen up as long as possible. So since I already know my feet are base, the only where else I can go is up. So I'm lengthening my body up with every movement. Even if it's going from the balls of my feet, or am I really going up? There's nothing stopping me from going up. There's only thing stopping me from going down. So I can only lengthen up while I'm standing on my feet. Coming to the upper shoulders.
Let's do one more. Let's do one more, and then we're gonna stop and resume back on Friday, man.
All right. Yeah, I was getting ready to end. I was in the upper shoulders and neck right now. I'm about to end everything. So right now we're going chin to chest. and then looking up, chin to chest. Looking up, you're gently nodding. And as you take a deep breath in, chin is going to be in your chest. Then you're going to release, looking up. Chin is in the chest as you take a deep breath in. Then you release, looking up. Take the left ear to the left shoulder. Bring the chin to the left shoulder. Then rotate around, chin to right shoulder. Then right ear to right shoulder. Chin to the right shoulder, rotate around, back to the left shoulder. Left ear to left shoulder. Chin to the shoulder, rotate around. Ear to shoulder, right ear to right shoulder, then chin to shoulder. Bring your head back neutral. Take the fingers and lock them behind the head, lay them through the spine. Take a deep breath in. And then flip the wrist, extend through the spine, linking through the whole body, going up as high as you can. Let the arms drop, opening up the chest as wide as you can, bringing as much oxygen back into the body as you can. Take the moment to let everything just remnant and saturate and let your body feel where you may have brought new activation to, or where you may have brought awareness to, oh, I'm tense right there, and it's releasing. So real quick, I would like to thank Lewis. I would like to thank HCC. Thank you again for participating with me. On Mondays, we're going to be doing meditation classes. On Fridays, we're going to do more flexibility, range of motion classes. So namaste, everyone. I appreciate y'all practicing with me. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, Mondays are going to be more meditative, flow-based things. So we're going to be doing more stuff focused on the breath, how the breath is activating through the body. And on Fridays, we'll do more of a physical practice. So things that are going to incorporate like gently using squats, push-ups, lunges, those things just to activate the bigger muscles of the body. But intuitively, everything we do on Mondays is applied on Fridays in the reverse, because we're just activating the muscles in different segments, as in a micro activation versus a macro activation, and then seeing how that feels with the breath. So again, Mr. Lewis, thank you very much. I'll be in contact with you for Friday. And everyone who tuned in, thank y'all very much. We'll be doing this again on Friday. It'll be more of a flexibility range of motion day for then. But Mondays are going to be more meditative, tuning into the body. Fridays are going to be more range of motion, moving a little bit. So I can't hope to see y'all again on Friday. Take it easy, and thank you for tuning in.
And thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys join us later on today at 6 o'clock for our deep stretching class. And if you enjoyed this class, it is every Monday and Friday at 8 a.m. So make sure you join us. We hope you guys have a great rest of the day. And thank you again, my man, for doing a great job today. And we look forward to your class again on Friday.
All right. Thank you very much again.